Bill Maher didn't hold back when he challenged Donna Brazile on the state of the Democratic Party.
Donna, are we more likely to see a conservative female president before a liberal one? Oh, that's an interesting question. Okay.
I think we'll see a Democratic. We've had three. We've had Geraldine Ferraro as a nominee, Hillary Clinton as a nominee, Kamala Harris as a nominee. We will have a Democratic female president in my lifetime.
I say...
That is a bold statement, but is it realistic? The Democratic Party has had multiple female nominees, but winning the presidency is a whole different challenge.
Make one suggestion?
What?
Not a vice president named Tim.
Okay. Okay.
You know, enough with a lady and a Tim.
It's interesting how many global women leaders have come from the right. I mean, Britain's now had 3 conservative female prime ministers before it had a single Labour one. The current conservative leader is a young black woman called Kemi Badenoch.
History shows that when female leaders rise to power, especially on the right, they're often recognized for being tough, not just symbolic. And that says a lot about the party's approach to leadership.
Female presidents in Africa. It's time, folks. We know how to lead. We can build the future for everybody.
Yeah, you just got to pick.
Happen.
I know, but
So
you can't.
next time have an actual primary where a woman candidate can prove her worth and not just be stuck in and nominated at the very last minute because you had a dotard running that you wouldn't fess up to.
Kamala didn't prove herself in a competitive primary. Instead, she was a last-minute pick because of Biden's decline. This kind of spontaneous backroom decision-making doesn't exactly sound like the party is confident. Or is that just me?
Joe and Kamala did win enough delegates. 14 million people participated in it, and we should not disenfranchise those Americans. So, you know what?
Terrible candidate. If you can't see that now, when are you going to see it?
First of all, there's so many
I
wrong...
can put my glasses on, and I can still tell you I can see a leader when I see a leader.
Kamala was supposed to be that strong female leader, but she never quite convinced people she could take charge. Her approval ratings reflect that. She struggled to get support even within her own party. Let's be honest, when you can't secure those votes, it's hard to imagine leading the entire country. The idea that Kamala Harris could rise to the top in 2028, when she struggled even in the primaries, seems pretty unreal.
Correct some of them. She's not a dotard. Shirley Chisholm didn't get anywhere. That's to our point.
No,
it takes a different kind.
It lays some groundwork for others later.
107 days was more than enough time. That's a stupid excuse, in my view, that it wasn't enough time. If anything, our election should be like Britain and like other countries. They don't need 100 days.
Women in politics, especially on the right, often have to prove themselves more in terms of leadership ability, not just representation. So people saw that she didn't quite measure up in that department.
After winning 81 million votes, Donald Trump never conceded the election.
Correct.
Okay, he continued to lie. He continued to fabricate. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden won the hearts and minds of the American people, as well as the Electoral College. Yet they were never given a mandate to do anything. But
you
they
mean Hillary? Hillary won.
No.
She is bringing the focus back to Trump, but that doesn't change the fact that Kamala had trouble gaining support. Winning the White House isn't the same as winning people's trust. And one reason she struggled is the woke movement. It has caused division and turned off moderate voters, but it motivated a base that was not big enough to win the whole country.
Me to defund the police. I said no. Folks, I grew up in high crime neighborhoods. What we wanted was more and better policing, not less.
People who want safer communities understand that cutting police forces only hurts the very people they're trying to protect.
I'd been a Democrat my entire life, albeit a conservative one. But when those activists tried to scare my kids, my fellow Democrats were silent. It was Republicans who offered their support both privately and publicly.
In his view, the Democrats got too focused on rhetoric and political correctness, and when it was time to act, they stayed silent. The woke movement in many cases, led to choices that didn't address the needs of everyday people, especially when it came to issues like policing and community safety. Donna still went on to support Kamala.
So we actually have elected a woman.
Yeah.
It's just that our stupid system, the way we play the game, she didn't get elected. But we can't say that the country, and also the votes are now finally all in for this election. Kamala Harris lost by your mustache hair. That like this much, it's so close.
He reminded them that using vote counts as proof of a mandate doesn't always work. Winning doesn't always mean having the people's trust. Kamala may have secured the VP position, but that doesn't automatically guarantee success.
Great campaign, and you're gonna keep losing if you insist that she ran a great campaign.
I'm saying, look, there was no model for the campaign that she had to run. Look, on July 21st at 1:41 p.m. when Joe Biden announced that he was going to step down, Kamala Harris had to step up. Now, what other Democrat could have stepped up in that period of time?
We're not arguing about.
She's trying to justify the situation, but that's the problem. If no other Democrat could step up, that shows that the party had no backup plan, which was a clear failure in leadership.
I'm so glad you brought up Kamala Harris, because she is probably one of the most undefined human beings. She is incredible. And so while her poll numbers may not reflect her true popularity, I can guarantee you Kamala Harris will not be replaced on the party's ticket. And I can also guarantee you, if Joe Biden decides not to run, Kamala Harris will become the next nominee of the Democratic Party.
While she praises Kamala, there's still this underlying question about her ability to take on a more dominant leadership role. You can't expect to win if you're always scrambling for last-minute fixes.
Campaign she ran. They asked her what she would do differently. She said, "I can't think of anything." That's terrible.
How do we trust a party that was telling us with a straight face that Joe Biden could be president for 4 more years without any problem whatsoever? That's what the Democrats were telling us. It was a massive lie. We saw through it. Everyone saw through it.
Did you see him this week? Could you imagine if we were just starting on the next term?
How did Democrats spend months insisting Biden was fine, only to suddenly realize he wasn't? It's hard to trust people who gaslight their own voters. This goes back to the interview Donna had with Bill.
What do you think of prominent Democrats like David Axelrod calling for Biden to, quote, get out or get going? Did he say that? Get out or get going?
I believe in a tweet or two and some stuff. Look, people who think that Joe Biden is perhaps too old, they're right.
Perhaps.
As we saw with the 2024 elections, there was doubt from the people, and it opened the door for Trump to once again gain control. What do you think about the Democrats' choice of leadership?